Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi Live. In this episode, I will be kind of demonstrating how it feels to use Blender inside Apple Vision Pro. So currently, you can see Blender over there on the big screen, and I can make it larger. So that's like maximum screen size we can have. So we have like kind of like an IMAX view of Blender. And here I'm using my mouse, and if I want to do some typing, let's say I go Shift A, create text, and I go hit tab, type hello. So as you can see, I still have my keyboard, I have my mouse, and this big screen over here is actually a virtual display from my Mac Mini M2. So my MacBook Pro is actually too old for Apple Vision Pro, and it's no longer supported. So I need to use my Mac Mini. So it's kind of okay. At least I have like device that works with Blender, and I can use my Apple Vision Pro, and I have this huge screen. I think it's too big, and I'm inside this immersive environment. So I could actually totally get like, it feels like inside the desert. So it's really cool, and I have this floating nodes over here. Just if I want to make like presentations, I guess it feels different. If I were to do like recording like this, definitely it's gonna be kind of more personal. Like it's like the whole presentations, and it just, if someone ever wanna like steal these presentations, it won't be possible, because this presentation is like inside my head. Kind of, that's the idea. I think if I could have my avatar display over here. They call it like persona. I could scan my face, and then it's gonna be my persona. I don't know if in the future Apple will allow like a 3D digital avatar that's different from your own face. I don't know. Over here we have Nomad Sculpt. So this thing over here is Blender, but it's not running as an app. This is still my Mac Mini running, kind of like from Mac Mini, it's become virtual display inside my Apple Vision Pro. Okay, so the nice thing, of course, about this kind of workflow, despite it is being immersive, right? If I want to export like 3D model, this is like Susan head. I can just export it into Apple Vision Pro and put it over there. Let me show you very quickly. So Suzanne head, I always use just export GLB, right? Just put it somewhere on the desktop. And of course, okay, let's just get reality converter and get our Susan, put it into reality converter. So we have our Suzanne, no material, nothing whatsoever. Just export, airdrop it into Apple Vision Pro. So we are inside Apple Vision Pro environment. So now we have Suzanne head over here, and this is how we drag it. Okay, it's pretty large, like 2 meters, I think. That's why it's so large over there. I can kind of pinch and rotate like that. This is the default material. Suzanne is of course 2 meters, I think. Yeah, so large screen, immersive. I could change the environment if I want to. Let me try doing that. If I change to Joshua Tree, oops. Oh yeah, okay. Sometimes it displays. You can see Suzanne also have different lighting. That's actually, that part is really cool. That part is super cool. So we can go back to this guy, back to Blender. I'm using Blender. 3.6. So the reason we cannot use pinch on Suzanne at the moment, we cannot really have control over the cursor. We cannot type whatever into this environment. We need a keyboard, actual keyboard and mouse. This, however, Nomad Sculpt inside Apple Vision Pro. So it's like kind of like native. Normally with Nomad Sculpt, you use like you use your iPad or iPhone and with Apple Pencil. But here you can actually use finger pinch. This is like the most basic at the moment. I'm using sub. I think let's turn it off. Yes, so the basic tools, just like Blender sculpting. So Nomad is quite native inside iPad. I'm using mask. I wish Blender also kind of native inside Apple Vision Pro or iPad at least. Mask, let's clear all mask. Go back to the brush tool. Yeah, just the usual thing. Same deal if you want to export this out. Okay, Nomad doesn't have USDZ converter, however it's GLB, so we need another app like Procreate to convert it into USDZ. Okay, so anyway, back to Blender. So if we want, so let's Control 2, right click, shade smooth. Let's try, okay, just randomly give material. We could use like proper PBR materials, but for now, texture painting, just give it base color, diffuse. If we were to just paint it randomly, just want to show you, we can have multiple USDZ actually being displayed in the environment. So like this is the basic Apple Vision Pro environment. We can run the apps that's running on the Mac Mini. So yeah, file, export, save it as different name. Import. Oh, okay, I didn't subdivide. Okay, that's fine. Export. So we are still inside the AVP, so just airdrop it. Airdrop Apple Vision Pro. It should show up somewhere here. Okay, showing up here. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so we have two Suzanne. We can rotate it, place it. You can see there's a shadow in the environment. And we can actually bring in more files. Let's say, okay, let's close Nomad Sculpt. Okay, files, app, search, USDZ, Angry Suzanne zombie. So these were created using AI, right? At some point. Okay. So yeah, I can drop it there. It could be animated as well. So the environment, this is the environment that comes with Apple Vision Pro. So I think you can eventually bring in your own environment presets. This guy is a dancing donut. We can actually drag and drop, which is really cool. So we have this animated donut character. I think I made it at some point. So this is like augmented reality. I could drop it in real world environment. With these demonstrations, I just show it to you inside this immersive environment. So this Kokeshi doll, for example, is in the iCloud. So if I drop it there, it's gonna load it. Maybe eventually it will load. This frog. Drop it there. See, it's loading. Loading from the iCloud, so that's nice. And we have dancing frog. Tap it once. You can rotate. I think probably, even though okay, if we are back to this environment, so if we really want to get serious, but I think this feels like super immersive, right? And I wish, of course, we could just do a 3D, like inside Blender, like grease pencil 3D. Currently, it's not possible because it's not yet like native app. But we can do like geometry nodes, I guess. Make something first and then export it. Edit. Draw. Making like a script. Gravity. Oh, there is actually a few apps that's allowing you to do like a gravity. But let's just save this very quickly. Let's do our usual drill. Geometry nodes. Don't forget geometry nodes. So it's a curve object. Curve. 2 points. Okay. Points to volume. Volume to mesh. And set smooth. Of course, I mean, ideally this is just gonna be an app and we are doing it in 3D. I'm currently sitting down. I could be just standing and walking around. But I'm inside this immersive 360 environment. If I want to walk around, I need to be aware of the environment. Obviously. And I'm currently wearing this and it goes into my eye, so it's gonna, after 2 or more hours, it's gonna be probably pretty tiring. A lot of things to consider. I mean, yeah, even though I think the Apple Vision Pro, of course, quite expensive, and it's 6,000 Australian dollar. But it is really quite something. Like I don't know how to explain it. You need to try the demo at least once and then see if it's perfect for you. You could be like a 3D artist and it's definitely something that you want to have. If you are just like a casual, you're not non-professional, you want to have like a really high quality VR, the Apple Vision Pro is also quite powerful in that regards. Okay. Okay, doesn't like it. Okay, that's interesting. Convert to mesh file, export. Oh, okay, this material, we can at least make it a bit shiny, right? Shiny. File, export. Okay, I still find it kind of strange that this window is just like a window, and then we are just have a bigger screen. I don't need to bring screen. I can bring my Mac Mini to library, for example, and then if I want to work there and using this Apple Vision Pro, and I get this super high quality display, and we can do all the drill. We can actually do like real work, but just be aware it might be tiring to your brain after a few hours using it. So take a break time to times. Yeah, I just gonna use this as a screenshot. It's really quite something, even though it's just basic thing. I know if you are using Quest or whatever, you get more tools. This one still super basic, but Blender is available open source for free. You will still need MacBook Pro, and because unless you can install Blender inside Apple Vision Pro, so maybe one day. But anyhow, yeah, I just want to show you this. Just a basic demo of Apple Vision Pro. It's just almost like having Blender inside your head. Not yet, but I could play Apple Music, and it's gonna be copyrighted, but I'm not gonna do that. But let me show you music. Yeah, this is like distraction, right? Once you have this, but you could definitely just minimize it and have just the music. It's gonna be pretty loud as well as the speaker is actually going out of your head, and people can hear what you're listening unless you are using AirPods or HomePod. But yeah, this is the thing. If you have friends that's using Apple Vision Pro and you want to do like a 3D walk around, you can be inside the immersive environment and people can actually look around, and yeah, you can look at the 3D objects together, which is really cool. So in order to make Apple Vision Pro like super productive, I think it needs more apps that's actually working in 3D, and it needs to have something like Blender or like other 3D apps that actually work natively. But if you want to make like a rough animation, you cannot do. You cannot do stop motion, but you can see earlier. You can have like like an animated 3D in front of you, which is quite real. But it's gonna be better if it's actually interactive. Yeah. So at least at the moment, this is the least you can do. But it's already like looking really cool because you're still inside the immersive environment. And then okay, yeah, I think this happened time to time because I'm using beta, I think. But yeah, it could be a memory thing. Occasionally it's just really weird things happening with current beta of the Apple Vision Pro. But anyway, I hope this recording works, and I'm just gonna stop now, and maybe in the future I will do this again. We'll see. It's probably better if I want to do like geometry nodes presentation. It's there is more that I could display over here in this immersive environment. But if I just have a screen, if my head keep looking like this, look like if it's keep moving like this, it feels quite unnatural. But if everyone have Apple Vision Pro and then we are inside the classroom, then it's gonna be different. Again, it's gonna be quite, what do they call it? Not profound. It's kind of new. The whole thing is kind of new, at least for me, because I didn't use other VR. So if you are a teacher or student, the AVV environment is super ideal, especially if you are using a lot of computing. At least, yeah, I think that's pretty much I want to say for today. Hopefully you find this useful. Blender experience inside FPV. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.